The unexpected truth. I had always been curious about psychics, but I had never truly believed in their powers. Still, when my best friend Claire told me about a psychic she had visited, I decided to give it a try. My marriage had been feeling strange lately. My husband, Adam, seemed distant. We weren't arguing, but something felt off. I thought maybe the psychic could help me understand what was going on. Just a little fun, Claire had said. You never know what you might learn. So, on a rainy Saturday afternoon, I made an appointment with the psychic. The little shop was on a quiet street, tucked between two old buildings. It had a warm, welcoming feel, with candles flickering in the windows and soft music playing inside. I stood in front of the door for a moment, unsure whether I should go in. But then, I took a deep breath and stepped inside. The room was dimly lit, and there was a table in the center, with 2 chairs. The walls were decorated with mystical symbols, crystals, and framed pictures of old tarot cards. At the far end of the room sat the psychic, an older woman with silver hair and dark, knowing eyes. She was dressed in a colorful scarf and long robe. She looked up at me as I entered, giving me a small, warm smile. "You must be Emma," she said, her voice soft and calm. "Yes, that's me," I replied, a little nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I felt an odd sense of calm as I sat down across from her. "I'm Maria," the psychic said, motioning for me to sit. "Tell me, what brings you here today?" I hesitated for a moment. I had come to ask about my marriage, but I wasn't sure how to say it. "I've been feeling a little confused," I said finally. "My husband, Adam, he's been acting different lately. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like something's wrong." Maria nodded, listening carefully. She didn't ask any more questions at first, just sat there quietly. After a moment, she reached for a deck of tarot cards on the table and shuffled them slowly. "Tell me, Emma," Maria said softly. "What is it that you want to know? What is it that you hope to find?" I thought about it for a moment. "I just want to know if everything is okay with my marriage. Is Adam hiding something from me?" Maria didn't say anything right away. She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them slowly. "I see a lot of energy around your relationship, but it's not all what it seems. There is something hidden." My heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean? What is hidden?" Maria looked at me with a strange intensity, her eyes searching mine. "There is a secret," she said, her voice low. "A secret your husband has been keeping. It is not something he wants you to know, but it is there, under the surface." I felt a chill run down my spine. My mind raced. What could it be? Was Adam having an affair? Did he want a divorce? I tried to keep calm, but my hands were shaking. "Do you see what it is?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Do you know what he's hiding?" Maria didn't answer right away. She stared at the table, her fingers gently touching the tarot cards. The silence between us felt thick with tension. I could feel my heart beating faster, my thoughts swirling in 100 directions. Finally, she spoke, her voice soft but firm. "It's not an affair. It's something more personal, something he hasn't told you. But it is important. It affects your future together." I leaned forward, desperate for more information. "What is it? Please, tell me." Maria looked at me, her eyes dark and deep. "I cannot tell you exactly what it is. The cards do not show everything. But I can tell you this. Your husband is carrying a heavy burden, something from his past that he has not shared with you. I felt a wave of confusion and fear. What was she talking about? Adam had never been secretive about his past. He had always been open with me. But now, with Maria's words hanging in the air, I couldn't stop wondering what it was that he had been hiding. Maria reached for another card and laid it down on the table. She stared at it for a moment, her face thoughtful. Then she looked back at me. "You must be patient, Emma," she said. "Sometimes the truth comes slowly. Sometimes people need time to open up." I didn't know what to say. I had come for answers, but all I had were more questions. Was this really the truth? Was Adam hiding something from me? I thought about everything that had happened in our relationship, the good times and the difficult moments. Could it be that there was something I had missed? Maria continued to gaze at me, her expression softening. "You are a strong person, Emma. Whatever this is, you will face it. But you must be ready to accept the truth, no matter how difficult it may be." I sat back in my chair, trying to process everything she had said. I wanted to believe that it wasn't true, that Adam was still the man I had married. But something about Maria's words felt real. My stomach twisted with unease. Maria looked at me kindly. "Your path will not be easy, but it will lead you to the answers you seek. Trust yourself, and trust the process." I nodded slowly, still unsure of what to think. I had come here for answers, but now I felt more lost than ever. "Thank you, Maria," I said softly, standing up from my chair. "I don't know what to do with all of this, but I will think about what you said." Maria smiled gently as I turned to leave. "Remember, Emma, the truth will find its way to you when the time is right." I left the small shop, the cool air hitting my face as I stepped outside. The city was quieter now, the streets wet from the rain that had started to fall more heavily. I walked slowly, lost in thought. What could Adam possibly be hiding from me? What was this secret that Maria had seen in the cards? My mind raced with 1,000 possibilities, but no answers. I needed to talk to Adam. I needed to know what was going on. But as I thought about his gentle smile, and the way he always held my hand when we walked together, I couldn't help but feel afraid. What if I was wrong? What if Maria's words were just a trick, just a coincidence? But deep down, I knew I had to find out the truth, no matter how painful it might be. The search for answers. For the next few days, Emma couldn't stop thinking about what Maria had told her. The words kept echoing in her mind. "There is a secret your husband has been keeping. It is not an affair. It is something personal from his past." At first, Emma tried to push the thoughts away. She told herself that Maria was just a psychic, and that her advice didn't mean anything. But then, every time she looked at Adam, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He had been distant lately, yes, but was there more to it? Was it possible that he was hiding something from her? Something that could change everything? On Tuesday night, Adam came home late. He was usually home by 6 p.m., but tonight it was nearly 8 o'clock before he walked through the door. Emma was sitting on the couch, flipping through a magazine, but not really reading it. When she heard the door open, her heart skipped a beat. "Hey," Adam said, his voice warm as always. He dropped his briefcase by the door and removed his jacket. "Sorry, I'm late. Work was a bit crazy today." Emma smiled, though it felt forced. "It's okay. she said, trying to sound casual. "How was your day?" "Busy, but fine. Nothing special," Adam replied, walking into the kitchen to grab a drink. His back was turned to her as he opened the fridge. Emma watched him carefully. She noticed how his shoulders were tense, how his movements were slower than usual. He seemed tired, yes, but there was something else she couldn't quite put her finger on. "Adam," she said, her voice quiet but steady. "Can we talk?" He paused, his hand still on the fridge door. "Sure. What's up?" Emma hesitated, then decided to just say it. "I've been thinking a lot about something. I went to see a psychic the other day." Adam turned to look at her, his expression unreadable. For a moment, there was silence between them. "You went to a psychic?" he asked, his tone casual, though there was a hint of surprise. Emma nodded slowly, watching his face for any sign of reaction. "Yes, and she told me something. She said that there's a secret, something from your past that you haven't told me. Is it true, Adam?" Adam's face softened. He set the drink down on the counter and walked over to her, sitting beside her on the couch. For a moment, he didn't say anything. He just looked at her, as if thinking. "I don't know why you would go to a psychic," he said quietly. "But if you're asking me if there's something I haven't told you, the answer is no. There's nothing you don't know." Emma's heart sank, but a small part of her didn't believe him. His words sounded too perfect, too rehearsed. She had seen him look at her that way before, when he was hiding something, when he didn't want to face the truth. His eyes avoided hers just for a second, and Emma felt a chill run down her spine. "I'm not sure I believe that," she said softly. "I have this feeling that there's something you're hiding, Adam." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Emma, I swear, there's nothing. I don't know where you're getting this from. Maybe you're just overthinking things. I've been busy with work, that's all." Emma studied him closely, trying to read the truth in his eyes. "Okay," she said, her voice calm. I have to know. I need to know the truth, Adam." He reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "You're all I need to know, Emma. Don't listen to people who tell you things that make you doubt us." But Emma wasn't so sure anymore. His words sounded sincere, but the doubts lingered in her mind. Could a secret really be hidden that well? Could he be lying to her, or was this all just a coincidence? The next day, Emma found herself standing in front of their bedroom closet. Adam had gone out for a meeting, and she had the house to herself for a few hours. The house felt quiet. Too quiet. She couldn't shake the feeling that she needed to find out more, to look deeper into Adam's past. She had never snooped through his things before. In fact, their relationship had always been built on trust. But now, with the seeds of doubt planted in her mind, she couldn't help herself. What if Maria was right? What if there was something important Adam hadn't told her? With a deep breath, Emma opened the closet door. She wasn't sure what she was looking for. Maybe a letter, a photo, anything that could reveal the truth. She began to sift through his clothes, moving aside shirts and jackets, until something caught her eye. It was a small, leather-bound notebook. It wasn't something she had ever seen before. She pulled it from the shelf, her heart pounding in her chest. The notebook was old, its cover worn from years of use. She opened it carefully, afraid that the pages might be fragile. The first few pages were filled with notes, Random thoughts, ideas for work, and lists of things to do. But as she flipped through it, something strange caught her attention. There were several pages with names written down, all in neat handwriting, but with no explanation. One of the names stood out: Lily Crawford. Emma felt a jolt of recognition. She knew the name. Lily Crawford was someone from Adam's past, an ex-girlfriend. Emma had heard her name before, but she had never asked much about her. After all, they had been together for years, and Emma had trusted Adam. But now, seeing that name written down, something inside her stirred. Was this just a coincidence, or was there more to it? She flipped through more pages, and her heart sank. There were notes about Lily, scattered throughout the book, talking about times they had spent together. The more she read, the more uncomfortable she felt. It wasn't just about Lily. It was about the love they had shared. Adam had written about it in detail, and it felt almost as if he was still holding on to her in some way. Her mind raced. Why had he kept this notebook? Why hadn't he told her about this before? Just as she was about to continue reading, Emma heard the front door open. She quickly shoved the notebook back into the closet and closed the door, her heart pounding. She couldn't believe what she had just found. Adam was home. The secret revealed. Emma's heart was racing as she heard Adam's footsteps in the hallway. She quickly stood up, trying to calm herself, her mind still spinning from what she had just discovered in his notebook. She forced a smile when he walked into the living room, but the smile felt fake, stretched thin. "Hey, you're home early," Emma said, her voice sounding much more casual than she felt. Adam smiled and dropped his briefcase onto the couch. "Yeah, it's been a long day. How about you?" "I'm fine," Emma said, sitting down on the couch, trying to act natural. But inside, her mind was a storm of emotions. How could she face him now? How could she pretend everything was okay when she had just found evidence of something he hadn't told her? Adam sat beside her, looking tired but content. "I'm glad you're here. You know, I was thinking, maybe we should take a little trip this weekend. Just the two of us. To relax." Emma nodded slowly, her hands tightly gripping the edge of the couch. "That sounds nice," she said, her voice tight. "But Adam, there's something I need to ask you." Adam turned toward her, his brow furrowing slightly. "What's wrong?" She took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "I found something," she said softly. "I found a notebook in your closet. It had notes in it about Lily Crawford. Why didn't you tell me about her, Adam?" For a moment, Adam didn't say anything. He just stared at her, his face unreadable. The silence between them felt heavy, almost suffocating. Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she waited for him to speak. Finally, Adam exhaled deeply and looked down at his hands. "Emma," he began, his voice low, "there's something I need to explain." Emma felt a sharp pang of fear in her chest. She wanted to hear the truth, but a part of her was terrified of what it might mean. "What is it, Adam? What's going on?" He looked at her, his expression a mix of guilt and sadness. "Lily was someone I was very close to before we met. We were together for a long time, and I loved her. But when I met you, everything changed. You became my future, Emma. I thought I had moved on completely, but I guess I never really let go of that part of me." Emma's mind whirled as she processed his words. So it was true. There had been something between them. But why had he kept it a secret for so long? Why had he written about it in that notebook? The betrayal cut deeper than she expected. "I don't understand," Emma said quietly, her voice trembling. "Why keep it from me? Why not just tell me?" Adam's face softened, and he took her hand in his. "I thought it was better this way. I didn't want you to feel like you weren't enough for me, or that I wasn't fully yours. You mean everything to me, Emma. I wanted to protect you from the past, because I thought that's what you wanted." Emma pulled her hand away, a mixture of hurt and anger rising inside her. Protect me? By lying to me? By hiding something so important? Adam's eyes filled with regret. "I never meant to hurt you. I just didn't know how to tell you without making you feel like I wasn't committed to us. I thought I had let it go, but I guess a part of me was still holding on. And that's why I kept it a secret." Emma stood up, feeling the weight of the moment settle over her like a heavy fog. She walked to the window, looking out at the street below, though her mind was far from the view. Her thoughts were consumed by everything Adam had just confessed. She had always believed that they had a strong, open relationship. But now, she was faced with the uncomfortable truth that her husband had kept a part of his past locked away. "Why didn't you tell me sooner, Adam?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why wait until now? Why keep me in the dark?" Adam stood up slowly, walking over to her. "I thought I could forget. I thought that I could just move forward with you, with us, and leave the past behind. But I was wrong, and I'm sorry." Emma turned to face him, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and confusion. "I don't know what to do with all of this. I thought we were happy, Adam. I thought I knew everything about you. And now, I feel like I don't know you at all." Adam reached out, his voice pleading. "Emma, please, I don't want to lose you. I love you. You're my everything. This was my mistake, and I know I've hurt you, but I can't imagine my life without you in it. Please, don't walk away from me." Tears filled Emma's eyes as she stepped back, feeling overwhelmed by the weight of his words and her own emotions. She had loved Adam deeply, and the thought of losing him was unbearable. But could she trust him again? Could she move past the secrets he had kept from her? "I don't know, Adam," she whispered. "I need time to think." Adam's face fell, and for a moment, he just stood there, his shoulders slumped in defeat. "I understand. Take all the time you need. I'll wait for you." Emma didn't know what to say. She had so many questions, so many feelings swirling inside her. She wanted to believe that Adam had made a mistake, that he was truly sorry. But a part of her couldn't shake the feeling that this secret was just the beginning of something deeper. What else had he kept from her? What else was hidden beneath the surface? That night, Emma couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned in bed, her mind racing. She thought about the love she had for Adam, the life they had built together. But now, that life felt fragile, like a house of cards ready to fall. She couldn't stop wondering, was she just another chapter in Adam's past? Or was she his future? She remembered what Maria had said in the psychic reading. The truth will find its way to you when the time is right. Was this the truth? Was this the secret that had been hidden all this time? The next morning, Emma woke up early and went for a walk. She needed space to think, to clear her head. As she walked through the park, she thought about everything: the psychic's words, Adam's confession, her own feelings of betrayal. She didn't have all the answers yet, But she knew one thing for sure. She couldn't make any decisions until she had sorted out her emotions. She loved Adam, but could she trust him again? Was the past truly behind them? Or was it something that would always hang over their relationship? For the first time in a long while, Emma felt unsure of everything, and as she sat on a bench in the park, she realized that the answers wouldn't come easily. But she had to find them, for herself and for their future. The decision. The days after that conversation felt like a blur. Emma went through the motions of her daily life, but everything seemed different. The house felt emptier, the air heavier. The trust she had once had in Adam now seemed fragile, like glass that could shatter at any moment. Despite his apologies, despite his promises to make things right, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something important had changed between them. She spent long hours thinking, walking through the park, and sitting in quiet cafes, trying to sort through her feelings. Could she forgive Adam for the secrets he had kept? Could she move forward with him, knowing that there were parts of his life that he had hidden from her? She had always believed that honesty was the foundation of their relationship. And yet, here they were, with a secret from Adam's past that had been buried for years. She couldn't ignore the fact that this wasn't the first time he had kept something important from her. There were other moments when she had felt he wasn't being completely open. Was this secret the tip of the iceberg? Or had Adam truly changed? Emma knew she needed to make a decision. She couldn't keep living in this state of uncertainty. She needed to either forgive him and move on, or face the reality that their relationship might not be what she thought it was. One evening, after Adam had gone to bed, Emma sat down at the kitchen table with her laptop. She opened an old folder of photographs she had kept from their trips and celebrations over the years. There were pictures of them laughing at the beach, of holidays spent with friends and family, and quiet moments together in their home. The memories were beautiful, but now they felt distant. She wondered if they were just moments, or if they had been part of something deeper. As she scrolled through the pictures, Emma found a photograph from the day they first met. They were at a friend's party, both nervous and shy, but full of excitement. The spark between them had been undeniable from the start. She smiled at the memory, feeling the warmth of that first connection. Could she really let go of everything they had shared? She closed the laptop and stood up, walking over to the living room window. The night was quiet outside, the lights from nearby houses casting a soft glow. Adam had been patient, giving her space to think, but Emma knew the time had come to make a choice. She needed to talk to him, to lay everything out in the open. The next morning, Adam woke up to find Emma sitting at the kitchen table, a cup of coffee in front of her. She looked up at him, her expression calm but serious. "Good morning," he said softly, taking a seat across from her. "Good morning," Emma replied, her voice steady. She took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "I've been thinking a lot about everything. About you, about us. And I think I know what I need to do." Adam's face grew serious. His hands clasped together on the table. "Emma, I'll do whatever it takes. If you need time, or if you need to talk more, I'm here. I can't imagine my life without you." Emma nodded slowly. "I know you love me, Adam, and I love you too. But love isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about trust, honesty, and the ability to be open with each other, no matter what. I've been struggling with the fact that you kept a part of your past hidden from me, and that's been hard to move past. Adam's eyes filled with regret, but he didn't interrupt. He knew this conversation was important. I understand, he said quietly, and I'm sorry. I know I hurt you, and I wish I could take back the secret, but I also want to prove that I am committed to you, Emma. To us. Emma stood up and walked to the window again, looking out at the quiet morning. She had always trusted Adam, believed in their future together. But trust had been broken, and she knew that healing would take time. Could she forgive him? Could she rebuild the foundation they had built their life on? I don't know if I can forget everything, Emma said softly, her voice tinged with sadness. But I do know that I want to try. I want to move forward, and I want to believe that we can still have a future together. But it has to be different, Adam. We have to be completely honest with each other from now on. Adam stood up and walked over to her, standing beside her at the window. He reached out and gently took her hand in his. I promise, Emma. No more secrets. No more hiding parts of myself. I'll be open with you. Always. You deserve that. Tears filled Emma's eyes as she looked at him, her heart full of conflicting emotions. She had been so hurt, but in that moment, she saw the sincerity in Adam's eyes. He wasn't perfect, and neither was she. They had both made mistakes, but they still had something worth fighting for. I don't know if it will be easy, Emma said, her voice trembling slightly. But I want to try. I want to build something real with you, something based on trust and honesty. I don't want to lose you, Adam. Adam pulled her into an embrace, holding her tightly as if afraid to let go. I don't want to lose you either, Emma. I'll do whatever it takes. In that moment, Emma knew that the road ahead wouldn't be without its challenges. There would be times when the past would haunt them, when doubts and fears would resurface. But they were both willing to fight for their relationship, to rebuild what had been broken. It wouldn't be easy, but it was possible. Emma pulled back slightly, looking up at him. We're in this together, right? She asked quietly. Always, Adam replied, his voice full of conviction. As the day went on, Emma felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. There was still work to be done, still healing to take place, but for the first time in days, she felt hopeful. The future was uncertain, but at least now, it felt like they were walking through it together. They spent the rest of the day talking, going over the things that had hurt them both, but also reaffirming their love for each other. It was not a perfect resolution, but it was a start. Later that night, as they lay in bed together, Adam turned to her and whispered, I'm sorry, Emma. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused. Emma kissed him gently, her heart full of understanding. I know, Adam, and I'm sorry too, but we're here now, and that's what matters. And with that, they fell asleep, side by side, ready to face whatever came next, together.